So guys, we're back for another video, and today we're going to be talking about this team's result against Fiorentina, guys, bottom of the league right now, or in the bottom top bottom three of the table right now in Fiorentina. Let's talk about the game, shall we? Because it was a good game. It was an interesting game. Before I get to anything, I have a message for D'Lorenzo. I have been, in the years of when he's joined, I've been, critical of him. I said he hasn't performed in Europe, but ever since he's our captain, I really feel bad for him because he does everything for this club. He won 2 Scudetti with us, a Super Copa. We obviously went to the quarterfinals of the Champions League. There's nothing else to say about him, and I feel really, really bad about his injury. I don't know how bad the injury is. If I get an update tomorrow, I might post it about that. I also might post about transfer market, if we sign some players. So, yeah. Yeah, guys, so Napoli played well today. I'm gonna talk about 3 players, guys. And one of them I just talked about before. He obviously got the injury. But before then, Dylan, so, he almost had an assist. Hoyland, I believe, missed a chance, and then Fagioli, I think it was, or Brogic, hit it off the post. But yeah. So that's that. But overall, I think Napoli, especially in the first half, apart from one sequence, well, it was one, in a few sequences, that I'll talk about in a sec, but overall, I think Napoli played well in the first half. Second half of the beginning, like first 15 minutes of the second half, and then when Fiorentina made it 2-1, that's when all the things got heated. Fagala got a bloody nose at the end of the game. And I'm not going to say personally that's a red card, but I did go back and watch the footage. It was an elbow, and if an elbow is a red card in soccer, in football, in culture, whatever you want to call it, then it should be a card. And they didn't stop the game. And I know it's not a head injury, but ragazzi, he did the elbow, so I think he should have stopped the play. But overall, guys, I'm gonna go over all the players who played today and give them a rating out of 10. First player, Alex Millet. I'm gonna give a 7.5 out of 10. I have 10. I think the goal that he conceded, no, it wasn't his fault. But yes, he could have done better. For me, I'm one of those guys where I don't criticize goalkeepers unless we concede blank amount of goals. And the Juventus game was bad. Chelsea game wasn't really his fault, but the Juventus game was. I think Juventus game, I know it's the first game back for him, but see, this is the thing. If you're going to criticize a goalkeeper who won us 2 Scudetti, by the way, this is what you get. You get prime Alex Millet back because simply, today he was brilliant. Apart from the goal hit that Napoli conceded, apart from that, brilliant. He had the save on, I don't know who it was, but I forget, but he had the save, and then he also had a save on Mosken. He had a lot of good saves today. So I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. Spinazzola, I thought he was alright. I'm gonna say a 6 out of 10. I think he definitely could have done better. When Jesus, I thought also when Jesus was alright, I would give him a 6 out of 10 as well. Buongiorno. 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 No. You know, like I said after the Chelsea game, he's the guy who thinks he's talented, but that is the type of player who needs to go back to reality. And I feel bad for him. I really do. But he's not top. He's not a top player yet. You know, there's a thing called being world class. He's not at that level yet. He's talented, but he's not world class. And he has to understand that. Napoli fans have to understand that. And I'm one of the biggest Napoli fans alive, and I understand that. And I think him as a player, he needs to understand that as well. And I think he needs to be, the more games he plays, the better it's going to turn out, but he needs to be more mature. He needs to say, okay, maybe I'm taking it to a higher level. Maybe I should calm down and slow it down a little bit. Oliveira, who I didn't know who was going to play today, because it was supposed to be some Pokemon coming in for Di Lorenzo, but it was Oliveira. But I thought he played well. There was a couple moments where Ken had some chances, but apart from that, there's nothing else to say. I think we've done well. Who else? We have Di Lorenzo. I can't really rate him because he got the injury. Lobotka, guys. And by the way, guys, after Di Lorenzo got injured, Lobotka was the captain, and I thought he had a bad game against Chelsea, but today, different level. Today, he showed up. There was a couple moments, but especially when it was 2-1, but everybody was like that. And we have to realize that these are the two midfielders right now who are the only two midfielders. Elmas is not a traditional midfielder. Vagala is not a traditional midfielder. We have two traditional midfielders. Two guys. 1, 2. And yet we compete with Chelsea, and yet we beat Fiorentina, and yet we beat Sassuolo, and yet we tie against Inter. Yes, we had some bad results against Frankfurt, against Como, against Torino, but forget about that. It's over. The past is the past. All you can do is focus on now, and that's what Napoli have to do. Napoli have to focus now, lock in. We only have one game a week now. We have to be locked in, recover, and go back again. Because the season, a lot of people saying it's over, but if Inter start to mess up, they also have Champions League to focus on later in the season. It's not going to be easy for Inter. They know the pressure, and they have one of the best midfielders injured as well. So that's that. Next player that I want to talk about, Elmas. I actually thought Elmas was brilliant today. There was a couple moments where he was linking up with Hoyland. He was brilliant today. So I'm gonna give him a 6 out of 10. Vagala, oh my god. That player. Ever since the Chelsea goal, or Sassuolo goal, no, he didn't score against Sassuolo. Top. I'm gonna give him an 8 out of 10. What a player. And by the way, when he went off, that's when we struggled. And a lot of people saying, what has that to do with anything? Well, he's like Politano. He's the one who plays defensive. He does the defensive work. But for me, he can't play 90 minutes. He also had the Champions League. You can't put pressure on him. When we have players on the bench that is in his position, we have to use it because we have another game next week. So that was the right move from Antonio Conte there. Hoyland, who I have on my back right now, I would give a 6. I think his hold-up play was very, very good. He was basically the reason why we scored the first goal. Second goal was brilliant as well. I forgot about him. I'll say it after we scored. I'm sorry. After we scored, cut. After we talk about Hoyland. But yeah, Hoyland. His hold up play was very, very good. You know. But there's a side of me where I want to give him his flowers, and there's another side of me where I want to say I want to see a little bit more. And yes, I know he's missing KDB. Yes, I know he doesn't have a striker with him, but I think he needs that a little bit more of motivation. You know, having Lukaku back, maybe Lukaku saying, "Oh, you need to score," or "Oh, you need to do this," or "Oh, you need to do that." You know what I mean? Give him the motivation. Give him the motivation to keep going, because also he's a young player. Hoyland. So yeah, that's that. And then Gutierrez, who I thought was second best to Bagala. Best game for him as a Napoli shirt. And since the Milan game, I think the Milan game, you know, that was his first game of the season. I don't think that was the right game to start him. You know what I mean? I think, like Vagala, we should have started him way sooner. I think we needed to trust these young players, because I know Antonio Conte doesn't trust these young players, but we really need to do that because we have the injuries that we have. Number one, I understand, but number two, maybe if we did play these players, maybe the injured players would not be injured right now. So, just a sign, a warning, or whatever you want to call it, to Antonio Conte to trust the young players, because the young players are better than you think they are. And even Luca Marinucci, you know, he had a good game against Verona, but he got sold out to Torino. But yeah, either way, guys, that's gonna be it. Make sure you like, make sure you comment, and make sure, most importantly, to subscribe. And I'll be back for another video. So that's it. See you guys in the next video. I'll be back maybe tomorrow, maybe on Monday. But yeah, guys, depending on when we get the Fiorentina news and when we get news about the transfer market, I believe the deadline day is Monday, I believe. It might be tomorrow. But yeah, guys, so either way, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, comment on today's video, and Napoli are back to winning ways. We are back within 6 points. Hopefully, if Inter drop points, we will stay 6 points. So that's it, guys. See you guys in the next video. Forza Napoli sempre.